Hello and welcome back. I'm Nicole and thank you for joining me here once again on the mat. Don't forget, if you like these videos, please subscribe to the page. Anyways, today we're going to be doing a gentle vinyasa flow. We've been working our way up towards one to continue strengthening up the core, the legs, and of course we'll get a little bit of shoulder opening in as well. So we'll get started like we so often do, just in our easy, comfortable seat. Jaws are going to be soft, shoulders relaxed. We're focusing first on body, stacking the vertebra, but not forcing into the back. Releasing physical tension. And then we'll bring focus to breath within the body. The way inhales flow through the nose and expand lungs and belly. Each inhale a little longer than the last. Each exhale carrying away thoughts, feelings, physical tension, so that every inhale can bring us more present. Maybe using this space to set an intention for your practice. Inhaling down deep. We'll get started bringing right ear to right shoulder. We'll take chin across chest, left ear, left shoulder. And we'll come back around, half circles to begin. I do a lot of neck opening in the beginning of my practices, as you may have noticed. A lot of us do hold our tension in the neck. And I really just love the way it feels, and I want to share that with you. And we start to add some full circles, looking up. If it ever doesn't feel good in the back of the neck, stick with those half circles. And then we'll reverse the direction. And inhale, lengthen to the spine. So that Sufi's grind, we've done it before, that seated cat-cow where we inhale chest over our legs and exhale round through our spine. I so love this. Sort of like a seated rolling cat and cow, inhaling forward and exhaling to round. Because it feels excellent in the hips and the low back. And it really warms up our spine and our body for our practice. I was talking with a teacher friend who said for a time being, maybe even like 6 months, she started every practice with neck rolls and Sufi grind. And I think it's a really lovely way to begin, so if you see me do it a lot, that's why. So you notice I've switched up the direction, but I'm keeping the breath pattern, and that might mean a pause, so you're always inhaling over and exhaling to round. And then next inhale, let's zip up tall, find some length in the spine. We're going to right away tip to hands and knees. So fingers are going to be spread to keep wrists nice and safe. Let's actually go ahead and open up our wrists. So that might look like flipping fingers towards the knees. Maybe you do one hand at a time, maybe both. You can actually sit back towards your heels a little bit. Should feel really good in the wrists. For those of you that spend a lot of time at a computer, you can take the top of the hand to the mat, fingers still facing knees. Here I like to really just do one wrist at a time. Move to my left hand, so if you spent a lot of time with one hand versus the other, head to the opposite hand now. And then as you finish up, bring both sets of fingers forward, opening up our wrists because we are going to spend some time on our hands as we work into our backs. Now I want you to take the right foot back, balls of foot still on the mat. We're going to press through our heel, and this will have a nice little calf stretch. Keep a little softness in your elbows. It can be easy to hyperextend here. Using the strength of the core, float your right toes. Engage your core like you're pulling your belly button into spine, trying to keep foot in the line. You don't have to go any further than here today, but if you want a bonus challenge, you can reach your left fingers out long. Core engaged. This is a great place to be, just holding or building strength in the core. We've done this before, but you can inhale, fill. Exhale, tap knee to elbow, a little bonus challenge. Inhale some length. Another one I really like for a little challenge is exhaling the right foot away to the right, the left hand to the left, everything away from midline, finding new muscles in the core. We'll bring it center. If you've tapped before, exhale another tap, knee to elbow. Length. And then we'll bring the hand and knee down. Before we head to the opposite side, an inhale, cow, and exhale, cat to reset the spine. Table. Left toes go back. Ball of foot on mat, pressing through heel to once again open the calf. Soft elbows, no hyperextending. Float toes. Engage core, belly button pulling in, try and get those toes in line with the rest of the spine. Again, you don't have to go any further than this. But those bonus challenge options, right hand out, core engaged. Inhale, fill. Maybe a tap. Inhale some length if you've tapped. Right hand right, left toes left. Everything away from midline, challenging new parts of our core. Inhale, center. Exhale, tap. Inhale, leg. Plant hand, plant knee. A round of cat and cow. Back to neutral. Keep your seat right where it's at. Walk your hands forward like you're trying to melt your heart to the mat. Chin or forehead will actually fall to the mat. Whatever's more accessible for your body. Big stretch in the front of the shoulders. Inhale, walk back up. Plant the hands. Exhale, arc to neutralize spine. One more cat. Tabletop. Fingers are spread. We're going to curl our toes under. Lift our seat. Downward facing dog. We started opening up our calves already. We'll pedal out to open them some more. Pressing through thumb and index to take pressure out of the wrists. We've been on our hands a lot. Let's give them a break. Walk toes forward into a forward fold. Knees get soft. Head hangs, grabbing elbows. This should be all looking very familiar to you by now. Head hanging. Maybe a rock of torso, a sway of head to just further release the back. Release the elbows and take a nice slow roll to standing. Head's going to be the last thing to come up. Strong, steady mountain pose. We've been here before. All right, are you ready to flow? We're going to move nice and slow, I promise. But we are going to inhale, sweep up. Exhale, back to our toes. We'll inhale a halfway lift. Remember that pose where we flatten the back. Hands to mat. High plank, stepping back. Keep in mind, you can always make it a knee plank. You're still going to build up strength. Let's lower down to the bellies, elbows in at the ribs. Inhale up, that baby cobra, strong back. No help from the hands this time around. Hands down, toes curl, seat lifts. Down dog. Take a little pedal. What I want you to do here is step the right foot between the hands, and we're going to open our left foot into warrior two position, where our pinky's edge is almost parallel to the back of the mat. We're going to sweep our hands up. Now we say almost parallel because if those toes are slightly facing towards the front of your mat to keep your back knee safe, that's okay. We are pressing through that pinky edge though, so our legs are doing about 50% of the work. Knee on top of ankle in front here. Gaze over those front right fingers. Strong leg. Here's where we're going to add that bit of core work. Going to take this right elbow, drop it on the right knee, reach right fingers. Extended side angle. You're more than welcome to allow that elbow to rest on the knee, but don't dump weight into it. Use your strong obliques here. If you want to test to make sure you're using your obliques, you could bring elbow right in front of your knee. Someday, one day, you might even drop those right fingers inside of your right ankle. But that doesn't have to be today. One more inhale, hold. And we'll exhale, warrior two. Gaze over front right fingers. Long and strong. We owe our right side oblique a little break, so let's flip the right palm, press it back. Two options. Left hand could go down the left leg for peaceful warrior, or it could come to back for a half bind. And And that'll offer a bit of stretch in the front of this left shoulder. Strong legs. Inhale, fill. Exhale, warrior two. Look out over those front right fingers. We're going to cartwheel our hands to frame our foot. We'll pick up our left heel. We'll drop our left knee down. Uncurl left toes. We did a lot of work in this right leg. Let's shift the hips back. See how my hips are lined up over my left knee? Right toes are going to lift. Right knee soft. It's a big pose. If you need to come up on fingertips or put a little extra bend in your knee, that's okay. Knee should never be perfectly straight. We don't want to hyperextend. But if you're looking for a deeper stretch, you can slowly start melting forehead to shin. This is our half splits. With enough practice here, you might just come into full splits one day. Good place to check in with breath, to return to any intention you may have set, or to just clear out any thoughts. Walk your hands forward, frame your foot, curl your left toes under. Here's our challenge part. We're going to step right foot back, lift up our seat, downward facing dog. Pedaling out. So ready to do the same thing on the left side. Left foot's going to step between. Right foot opens into that warrior two position. Pinky edge almost parallel to the back of your mat. Arms are going to spiral open. I'm going to turn around so you can see me from the front and hear me a little bit better. So again, if those right toes are slightly angled towards the top of your mat because it feels safer in your knee, no problem. Pressing through pinky edge to evenly distribute the weight. Gaze over front left. Knee on top of ankle. Ready for that core work. Left elbow down, right reaches. That elbow's barely touching the knee. You can bring it in front. Someday, one day, you might drop the fingers inside the ankle. You're stronger than you know. One more inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Look to those front fingers. Flip that palm, press back. Right hand either down the leg or to the low back. A little peaceful or reverse warrior. Inhale, fill. Exhale, warrior two. Gaze over front left. Ready to cartwheel. Pick up the right heel. Drop right knee. Uncurl right toes. Give those hips a shift back. Get them to line up over that right knee. Left toes are lifted. My left knee might look like it's on the straighter side, but there's a hint of softness. If you need to add a little bit more bend, that's fine. You can be really high up on these fingertips, or you can be melting forehead to shin if you're looking for bigger opening. We're reconnecting with breath or with intention, just holding this pose and letting body soften and head clear. Walk forward, frame foot with the hands, curl right toes under. Last time we stepped back to a downward facing dog. We're treating it like a flow class. So this time we'll take that left foot back into a high plank. Remembering it could always be a knee plank. We're going to lower to the belly, elbows in. If you didn't come to your knees, toes uncurl now. We'll inhale up, cobra. This time hands on the mat coming as high as you'd like. We'll lower, curl toes, lift seat, downward facing dog. Paddle it out. I'm going to give you a different option for your pigeon poses. We've been taking them reclined a lot. Here's a folded over pigeon. We're going to drop our right knee behind our right wrist, our right ankle behind our left wrist. So the shins parallel to the front of the mat, and I'll turn and face so you can see what I mean. See how my shin is parallel behind my wrist? All right, I'll turn back. So you can see that my left knee is down, my left toes are uncurled. I'm inhaling my chest up. And I'm going to fold over. It's a really big pose for the back of this right hip. You can make a little pillow with your hands. If the pillow is a bit far, you can stack both wrists, come up a little higher. Trying to evenly distribute the weight between the hips. We'll just relax into this pose. Getting our body into a safe place so we can clear thoughts and just be present. Inhale, press back to our palms. Curl our left toes under and take our right leg back. Downward facing dog. Pedaling. It can feel really nice to reset by extending those right toes, maybe even bending right knee. It's like you're trying to send your foot to the left and you're stacking right hip on top of the left. And we'll settle toes back to the mat. So we're going to do the same thing on left. We're going to drop that shin parallel to the front of our mat. Right toes are uncurled. I say parallel, but you'll notice here, my heel walks in a little closer to my hip. If it feels safe for your body, you can let that happen. You can always come to your back and take this on your back. But again, we'll square our hips forward the best we can. And we'll start to walk forward, evenly distributing the weight. Making that pillow one more time. Closing eyes, softening jaw, and just holding the pose. Once we've got our body in a safe place, sort of just embracing a little stillness and maybe a little silence. Just a couple more rounds of breath. Inhale, palms. Right toes curl under. Left foot steps back. Those pedals, maybe floating left toes, bending left knee. Now you can see it from the opposite side, how my left foot's reaching to the right. Before you saw how my you saw it on my right side, but now my left hip is stacking on my right. We'll reach the toes back up. Final down dog, a couple pedals. We'll lower knees. Flip onto our seat. No fancy setup, we're just going to come straight to our backs. I always like to pause here, just letting the low back release into the mat, nice and neutral. Let's further reset the hips by taking these side to side. Said we do a little shoulder stretching, so let's take one more pose here, legs long, we'll find a fish. Palms to the mat, either very near the seat, or maybe actually seated on the backs of your hands. We'll inhale to elbows, walk those elbows together, throat to the ceiling, like we're trying to reach the crown of our head to our mat. So on top of a nice stretch across the chest and shoulders, this pose is also supposed to be good for your thyroid. Inhale, eyes up, look ahead, come up, elbows, head down, knees, chest. Squeeze to release the back. We'll take a rock. And we'll end with our back releasing twitch, dropping knees to the right, both shoulders on the mat, maybe reaching fingers, maybe even crossing left leg over right for a deeper twist. Head could face the ceiling, or you could look to the left if it feels good in your neck. Head center, legs uncross, knees into chest, a squeeze, a rock, a drop to the left, optional cross right over left, maybe a look to the right, clearing thoughts, focusing on breath. Head center, legs uncross, they pull into chest for a final little squeeze and a final rock. Then we'll release into final resting pose, Savasana. Wrists, ankles rolling open. Eyes are heavy, jaws are soft. We're melting into the mat, soaking up the benefits of our hard work, and just focusing on our breathing. Inhale a deep breath. Movements, fingers and toes. Rolls of wrists, ankles. A look side to side. We'll reach our fingers and our toes. We'll roll to the right. A brief pause on the bicep. Our rebirth. A little calmer and a little stronger. Press into easy seat. And as always, thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.